Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you're brand new, I am so excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And this is a bit of a delayed Halloween build. I'm going to call it a Halloween build because I am building for a Spellcaster, as you probably saw in the title already and in the thumbnail. And I wanted this to be kind of like a quirky little, I don't know, forest cottage, like a woodland cottage or something like that. I don't really know. I was looking at tons of pictures on Pinterest. I was looking at specifically, I searched witch's cottage exterior on Google Images, which actually gave me a lot of cool stuff to go off of. But I also looked up like fairy houses because there are like all these cool kind of like whimsical roof shapes and just kind of funky little bump outs everywhere. And I know that they're kind of difficult, at least for me, to do in The Sims, but I wanted to try to make this a little bit quirky, and I really wanted to use like the moss-covered roof from the Werewolves game pack, and I just had a lot of different ideas, and you can see that I started by using terrain tools because I wanted this to be a little bit on a hill as well. But we're also building in Henford-On-Bagley, one of my absolute favorite worlds in The Sims 4. I just thought it would be the perfect setting. I think this is Cordelia's secret cottage. I think that's the name of the lot. It's at the top left-hand side of the screen if you are wondering. It's a 20 by 30 or a 30 by 20, whichever orientation it is, I can't remember, but it's really, really pretty. This lot is probably one of my favorites in Henford-On-Bagley, and you kind of have to go up this like dirt pathway to get to the top of this hill, and then I added an extra hill, because why the heck not? But you can see that the exteriors pretty much come together, at least the shape of the build. I was trying to come up with a particular color scheme. I wanted it to be mainly like a wood paneled house. I was gonna go a little bit darker to match the roof, but I kind of liked this lighter wood from Island Living. And then I decided to use the tool mod. I used these roof pieces. They're kind of roof trims from Cottage Living. I sized them up and then I used the tool mod to lower them into the terrain to make it look as though there are these little steps leading up to the front door. Now, when you download this from the gallery, there will be a few of them missing from the very top because I knew this was a risk. They did block my Sim's ability to get up the hill. Number one with terrain tools, what I've learned is you can't make the hill too steep, otherwise your Sims will not be able to walk up it. I don't know why. Maybe the ones with higher fitness skill can. I don't know. I don't think that's a real thing, but I've learned that the hard way. And then I knew that these objects, because they are objects, they're not debug items where your Sims will kind of walk through debug items more often than not. A lot of them at least, like fences and things like that. But this I knew was going to be an issue. So I got rid of the two at the top. But other than that, my Sim was able to navigate like past the landscaping that I'm doing here and the debug fences that I use, and they were able to walk right up to the front door and access the home. So that was really, really wonderful. I wanted to make sure that I tested that at a bare minimum because I knew that it could present an issue. But you can see that I'm continuing to use the tool mod to lower these debug fences into the terrain a little bit. It was a little bit challenging to kind of get the orientation of these different pieces and also the height, like how much I actually lowered them into the ground to match. But I think I did a decent job. It doesn't have to be completely even, and I don't think it is, but I thought it worked out pretty well. I just wanted there to be kind of a stone wall framing where all the landscaping was gonna go, kind of framing the property, and I think it came out so nice. I'm actually really proud of this one. I mentioned over on my community tab here on the channel, if you guys haven't looked at that, by the way, that's mainly where I try to keep in touch with everybody is over on the community tab, but also on Twitter. But anyway, I posted over on the community tab that I was going to be missing Spooky Day or Halloween, and I wasn't going to have a build ready for the day of, but that I had something up my sleeve, which is this. But that I was also experiencing a lot of burnout lately. Now, I have heard other creators talk about this before. It is not exclusive to content creators by any means whatsoever. But as of late, like probably the past six-ish months, which is, well, actually, unironically, I think that's as long as I've been in my new house. My husband and I bought our very first house, and it was super exciting, but it was a whirlwind, as moving is. But I've been experiencing burnout since kind of around the time that the High School Years pack came out, and I didn't really acknowledge it fully, like to myself, until quite recently. I was looking at my channel and I was just thinking, I haven't posted a build in like almost a week, and I have no ideas. And I do not have the energy to force myself to try to make something. And now let me clarify, I didn't force myself to make this. I was very much inspired to do it. I loved how it came out. It felt so different from things that I have been building lately. And I don't know, I just made a bunch of different choices. So anyway, I have been experiencing burnout. So if builds are a little bit more scarce or just videos in general, don't be concerned. I just need a bit of a reset. Sometimes you just need to take a little bit of a break and only dive into something if you're really feeling inspired to do it. Because that's the only way I build. I can't just sit there and be like, you know what? I'm going to build a bowling alley with no inspiration or ideas to kind of go off of. So anyway, we're on to the interior, and I really like the interior. I put the cauldron in this little bay window area. I use this beautiful fireplace from Cottage Living, and the inside is just very wood paneled, just like the exterior, just with kind of different wood tones. I was a bit hesitant about this one. This wood paneling is from Base Game, and I thought it was almost a little bit too red. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but I ended up liking it, and I kind of mixed a few different wood tones throughout this build as well, because I was not going into this thinking that this would be matchy-matchy in any capacity, like literally not at all. So I just kind of went with it, and I decided to make different choices, and I really liked the outcome. So hopefully you do too. You can see that there's a little armchair here in the corner, and I do end up pulling out, I want to say it's a console table. Yeah, this one from Realm of Magic, but I do change it out to a higher, what's it called? That's not a console table. That's a coffee table. I pull out a console table though. I do pull out a higher one and kind of decorate it with a few different things. I also place a couch, but not this one. You know what it is? Some of the wood swatches from the Realm of Magic objects, I just cannot get behind. They're just too extreme for me, and I can't really pinpoint it. I think some of them are a little bit too orangey for me. And I think that was bringing out too much of the reds in the paneling I chose for the walls. So I tried to go with some darker wood tones here and there to kind of just like balance things out a little bit more. And I did really like this neutral colored sofa from Cottage Living, so I really enjoyed that. This painting from the Paranormal Stuff pack of this Victorian home is so beautiful. I love using it in kind of like spooky, witchy builds, so it was perfect for this. I also used that bookcase from Realm of Magic, and I do put a cozy little armchair over there. Now this does mean that bookcase might not be accessible, but there's another one upstairs, so it shouldn't be a problem. Your Sims will have the ability to read books and grab them if they'd like. Now there is no television in this build because I was envisioning a little forest spellcaster. I don't know, think without using tons of yellows in this build, think like a Hufflepuff, right? Like that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like just really loves plants, very gentle, very like soft-spoken, just wants to kind of do the right thing all the time. So maybe you could call this like a good witch's cottage, but you know what? I did that last year, so I just refused to use the same title. I'll actually link that in the top right-hand corner if you guys want to see it, because that was probably one of my favorite Halloween-themed builds that I've kind of ever done. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool shape. But the living room came together pretty quickly. It's probably one of the most cluttered rooms in the build, aside from the kitchen. I really enjoyed the kitchen too, but the bedroom honestly is not that cluttered at all. It's mainly because I didn't have the space. I wanted it to be just a little less cluttery. I don't know how else to describe it, but I loved using these sconces too from Realm of Magic. They're so cute. I think the word bug is in the name. I just can't remember exactly what they're called. And I also used a fair amount of decorations from the Werewolves game pack, because I think I said this when I did that big vampire mansion for Vlad for my save file a couple of weeks ago, which I will also try to remember to put up in the top right-hand side of the screen. When I did that, I used tons of vampires, werewolves, and Realm of Magic, and those seem to be the items that I gravitate towards for any kind of occult build in any capacity. But this is going to be the kitchen. I did use the Country Kitchen Kit, which is always a mouthful. I almost used the Cottage Living countertops, but I just really liked the Country Kitchen Kit ones here. I used these chairs from the Paranormal Stuff pack, but I did use the table from Cottage Living, which is very cute. Now this is only a 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom technically. Yeah, I gave this sim, or the couple of sims that live here, you know, whatever you'd like, I gave them like pretty big bathrooms actually. You could possibly take the bathroom upstairs and turn it into an additional bedroom if you wanted to have maybe a smaller family live here. Definitely an option, because they are both full bathrooms, the one downstairs and upstairs. But I was only picturing maybe a single sim or a couple spellcaster sims living here. maybe at some point they will have a family of their own. Maybe they're siblings actually that live here. Maybe they're cousins. It could be whatever dynamic you'd like. But I did clutter up the kitchen like I mentioned. So I was pulling out just a ton of stuff in the menu here, trying to sort things out. And there's only one countertop that is available to prep food. So just know that if you want to have a couple of Sims in here and you try to do the cook together interaction, only one countertop will be available. You could, of course, get rid of some clutter and open up another one. Wouldn't be difficult at all. But it's actually a pretty decent sized kitchen, and I liked kind of using the, well, there's that little bump out for the window, but I liked having the little tiny breakfast table kind of surrounded by all the cabinetry and the countertops. I thought it was kind of cute because there's no formal dining room in this build. But this is going to be the downstairs bathroom. I was just swapping out a few decorations in the hallway to make sure that I used that mirror from the Werewolves game pack. I have used it once, and it was in a werewolf family home, I think. It was like a farmhouse in Moonwood Mill. Millwood Mill. That would have been really fun. No, Moonwood Mill. So I haven't used it very often, so I was excited to use it here. And I do put a dresser in this bathroom. I have been doing that a lot lately, it feels, or at least I think about it a lot, because I sometimes make, well, all the time, for my off-camera legacy that I'm playing right now, all of my Sims have at least like 2 or 3 everyday outfits to choose from, because I just feel like it changes things up. It's a little bit more realistic. And when they go and take a shower and they default to a certain outfit that I don't want them to wear that day, it's very convenient to have a wardrobe in the bathroom, because then I just pretend in my head like, oh yeah, they just, this is what they got dressed with today. Like, this is what they ended up wearing today. I didn't have to change it. But yeah, I decided to put a wardrobe in that bathroom. I don't think I put one in the upstairs bathroom, but there is of course a dresser in the bedroom. Now, you probably caught a very temporary glimpse at the smokestacks, the chimneys. There are these really cool effects in the debug menu from Realm of Magic that are like bursts of light, and I put those on the smokestacks and in the turret on the 3rd level. So it looks a little bit more mystical and magic-y. At night, it looks really, really cool. I probably have a screenshot of it, and I'll try to put it in the video if I can remember. But this is where there's going to be another bookcase, a little armchair. We've got this beautiful bed from Realm of Magic as well that I never get to use, so I was so excited to use it here. And then we just decorate the landing area and the additional bathroom, but that is pretty much it for this build. So I hope you guys enjoyed this belated and delayed spooky build or Halloween theme build. This is my contribution for this season on top of the other ones that I did really early in the month. But hopefully you all enjoyed it. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts, and I will catch you next time I post a video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.